1 minute.
John and Tanika, we are expecting to hear from Chief Tom Hackney in just a few minutes. For these past 11 days, they have been asking anyone for information leading to where we are going to find
Chief Tom Hackney, 5 o'clock.
Let's turn it over to Chief Hackney. He's coming up to the front now.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're day 11 in our search for Lonzie Aaron Barton. We are in the process right now of working with FDLE to cancel the Amber Alert in the case involving Lonzie. And let me tell you exactly why. We are now completely confident that this is not an abduction or a stranger abduction. Listen, I'm not much of a poker player. I know that you're not supposed to show your hand, but today in this, I'm about to do just that. And I have reasons why I want to do that. We have reviewed a video that we found in our canvas of the area where the vehicle was recovered just minutes before the 911 call was made to police the night the reported abduction was made. Ruben Everon explained the reason why that he did not have Lonzie was because his car was left in the parking lot of the apartments and that some unknown perpetrator stole his car and drove off with the 21-month-old that he had left inside. His whole story, the whole case of the abduction, was hinging on that fact. Honestly, we didn't really believe it a whole lot from the beginning, and we had some evidence that led us to the fact that we didn't think it was. Now, I'm 100% sure. It's caused me to cancel the Amber Alert, and it's also caused me to want to come forward and talk a little bit about what we're doing and how we're doing it. But if Ruben Everon's explanation of why he didn't have one of the 2 children he was with is based on the fact that the car was stolen, this house of cards that he's building begins to crumble. To my right is a picture, and this is again just houses away from where the vehicle was recovered, of his car passing by. Just a couple minutes later, to my left, what you see is a video of Ruben Everon running back towards his apartment away from the vehicle that he had left there. The clothing that you see him wearing is the very same clothing that he had on when police arrived and that he had on during the time he was in our custody and was booked into jail with. This explanation that he had for this, it tells us that he's the man with the answers. I've said this before. This lie or fabrication or whatever it is that you want to call it, it's been going on since 2:19 in the morning, July 24th, when Ruben called the police. I have to tell you, since I'm canceling the Amber Alert and not working this as an abduction anymore, we're working this as a murder case. You need to know that, and Ruben needs to know that. Without some reasonable explanation from Ruben Everon as to the location of this child, he needs to understand that this murder case is being built against him, that in no uncertain terms, it's him who we're looking for. If there is some other reasonable explanation that needs to be brought forth by Ruben Everon, or somebody associated with him or knows him, now is the time to do it. That murder case is getting stronger day by day. If it was a mistake, don't continue the mistake. Do not continue that mistake by continuing to lie to us. The one thing that you can do to clear up this mistake and answer the questions that we have is lead us to the location where that 21-month-old Lonzie is. You know it, share it with us. Ruben, you're building this house of cards with a losing hand. I'm stacking the deck with the truth in this case. Right now, there's $13,200 in reward money offered through Crime Stoppers for anonymous information to come forward. I said it yesterday, said it before. Doesn't matter where that comes from. It can come from his friends, it can come from his family, wherever it comes from. That phone call can be made, and we'll send the team to recover that child's body. 1-866-845-TIPS is the number to call. You know it. You know it's the right thing to do. I can take some questions.
What are these images of? Can you describe this, what we're looking at here?
This is from a home surveillance system in that neighborhood. Part of the detectives I mentioned, we were going back through the neighborhood looking for video that we could find, and we found it. And here it is. These videos show the car passing by. A couple minutes later, him running back by. These are just still frames, and through the PIO's office here with the Sheriff's Office, we will release the actual video. So you can play the video and watch it yourself.
And this is after he claimed to have been in the house? I mean, what's the time frame?
This is just minutes, just a couple minutes before the 911 call is made. So this is after around 2:10 in the morning when these videos are taken in that neighborhood. So his story of this, that he was in the car, ran upstairs to take care of something, get cocaine, as he's told that we've let out before. That's not true. That's not true. This whole story, his whole explanation is nothing but a load of lies.
Is he aware you have this video? Have you shown it to him and asked him about it?
Something tells me probably within the next few minutes he will be.
Is he watching this press conference?
I don't know. He's not by us, but he's very interested in the facts of this case. He just wish he was a little more interested in sharing what he knows.
Chief, how long from the time you see that car pass to the time you see him running?
Within a couple minutes, and I don't want to go into very specifics. This is more than I really wanted to do, but I wanted him to know, and I want the public to know, that what we're basing this case on isn't conjecture, isn't a whole bunch of detectives getting together and thinking this or thinking that. These are facts. This is him. This is the clothes that he's wearing, the shoes that he's wearing. He's got the shirt that he had on when he called the police in his left hand. This isn't happenstance. These are facts in the case.
Loretta with Action News. Why now, Chief? Why are you sharing this with us now, 11 days later?
We found this late over the weekend and had to go back and verify it. Again, I said this is a fact. I didn't want to put something out that I wasn't sure about or wasn't a fact. These are facts. And you're going to be able to get the video, and your viewers can watch it, and the public can make their own determination.
How far away is that from where the car was located, and how far away are we talking about from his own house?
This is just a couple houses away from where this was recovered, and the recovery location is about 0.6 of a mile from the apartment. So he's booking it. He needs to get back to tell his lie.
You don't
Did the
believe?
homeowner call you about this video? Is that how you got it?
We discovered this through our door-to-door campus, the detectives.
You said this is now an active murder investigation. Where does that leave JSO now in terms of searching for the body and what's next for investigators?
Investigators will still continue to do what we're doing. We're piling through this evidence. I told you yesterday that there's a mountain of things that we're going through and looking through. I'm stacking the deck with the truth, like I just said a second ago. He needs to know that, and his family needs to know that. Anybody he talks to needs to know that. That's why I would kind of show my hand, show only a couple cards. But a poker hand has a whole lot of cards to it, not just one. What you're seeing is one.
Do you know where the 5-year-old was at this time?
I have to assume that she's back in the apartment because he's not running with her. But again, that's part of this fabrication.
There was no one else in the apartment, so he left the 5-year-old alone in the apartment to go save the car here, or was there someone else in the apartment?
There was somebody else in the apartment, but not associated.
And just to clarify, at this point in time, he claims he was sniffing cocaine.
Yeah. This is around this time is the time that he was going back up to the apartment when all this occurred prior to those 911 calls.
And how far from the apartment is this?
This is a little bit less than 0.6 of a mile.
And have they already picked up the mother from Wacko's right now, or at this point, where is the mother at?
At this point in time, Mom is somewhere either at Wacko's getting a ride or on her way back.
Has Lana lied to you at all, or any other officers throughout this entire investigation, from when she left Wacko's to when she got to the scene?
She's been receptive to our questions. Without going into great detail, she's been there when we needed her. She's had a lot to go on and a lot to deal with. I said this yesterday. If there is somebody, and that includes Lana, that's associated with this that we can prove had something to do with this, they will go to jail.
Has she or Ebron been drug tested?
I don't know. I don't know the answer.
When's the last time you had contact, or your detectives have had contact with Ruben Ebron? I know that he's invoked his right.
The last time, I believe it's been several days. It wasn't over the weekend. I think it was towards the end of last
To
week.
clarify, you're about to show him this video here in coming minutes, or?
No, I'm not going to. I can't show him anything. I can't reach out to him. But what I can do is pass this information on to those who have contact with him. And he has fairly regular contact with his family members and some others by way of phone and other things. I want them to pass this on. I want them to let him know what we've got.
So are you trying to break him?
Sure. I want the truth. That's all I want. This lie that he started, it's just that. It's a lie. You know, he's talked to media outlets, tried to talk to media outlets, and continued with this ruse and this story and this narrative of what will save him, or what he thinks will save him. But he needs to know, and his family needs to know. We're working that out. This is part of working that out.
Is this the smoking gun, or is there other stuff out there that we don't know about?
This could be one of the bullets in the smoking gun. We're putting a lot together. There's a lot of resources and a lot of smart minds working on this.
Chief Hackney, you said it's now a murder investigation. At what point in your timeline do you anticipate actually charging him? Would that involve going to the grand jury for the indictment?
I want the child's body. I want the child's body to be taken back to his family, to be put to rest properly. That's the right thing to do, guys. That's the big thing. That should be the rush that we're having, is to recover that boy. The rush isn't to make a murder case. I want the murder case that's being made by these men and women to be strong, which it is, and to stick.
Is he the only person visible in this video?
Yes. Yes.
Chief, any indication of what his motive might have been?
It's speculation, really. Is he doing this to cover this something that happened before? I mean, obviously he doesn't have him. He's not running back with him in his arms. There's no frame of this that you'll see that 21-month-old is chasing behind him. He had him. He admits that. Mom says he had him, and then he didn't. So somewhere in that middle ground, somewhere in that dash between there, something happened without him filling that narrative in. Without Lonzie and his body, that dash is going to be left up to a murder case.
Did he have the same outfit on at the laundromat that he has on there?
Part of it.
Part of it. What part was missing?
Just a portion of it was different, but most of it was the
Have you
same.
So therefore you have video at the laundromat too of him there?
Yes.
Have you been able to
What time?
We have the video of the time that he was there, but again, covering specifics. This is about as specific as I want to get, because if I get more specific than this or more specific than that, I'm not going to do
Have
it.
you
So,
been able to track his cell phone activity during this time?
I said before, smartphones are smart. So was his. There.
Do you think his phone was on when he was running there? Did that help with the tracking of his phone?
Certainly doesn't hurt.
Chief, when he was charged with child neglect during the interrogation, he used the phrase, "my child inside." My child inside. Was that, you probably didn't do the interrogation, but was he being personal? Was that part of the ruse? Was that because my child says to me that you care about the infant and you have a vested interest?
You know, it's hard to say. From hearing that and seeing some of the emotion that he had, he displayed emotion when he talked to us, and he said things like that. Yeah, I can't not say that he said that. And that's why I think, who knows? It could have been some mistake that happened. It could have been something more sinister. But without his narrative, and again, his narrative is crumbling with this. The basis of his whole story, if I take that out, he's got no child that he was supposed to have, and no explanation for where it is. His explanation is somebody stole the car, Lonzie was in the car, I don't know. I take that away from him.
Chief, are there differences in clothing that you have already from where he was in these different surveillance videos? We see that one here. If he was wearing something different, do you have that other article of clothing?
We've got a surprising amount of physical evidence in a 6-hour period, and again, I've shown you one hand. The other ones may come, but they're not coming today.
Why did it take so long for this video to come out? Did the homeowner or the resident who lived there not know that they had it until detectives actually knocked on their door and asked to see the surveillance? Or
There were some technological issues that came up for us to get this. We have some other information from around that same time that I'm not going to go into great detail with. This is clear and in living color and easy for us to see. That's why I want to share it. I don't not tell details to hide anything about this investigation. I'm building a good case. My detectives are building a good case. I'll share what I think I need to share.
Derek Galentine, Union. How hard is it to build a murder case without a body, without knowing clearly what happened to the child?
It's not easy, but then again, searching 40 square miles and 61 bodies of water and 11 days worth of searching, that's not easy either. I know several hundred who were involved that are up to the task. Okay.
Chief, how often have you used a tactic like this where you're trying to use what we can release in the media to put some pressure on your suspect? Unusual?
Maybe I'll let you, the media, and the public decide that. I said before, whatever we can do to recover Lonzie's body, we're about to do. This is part of what we're doing.
Chief, a couple of questions. Are your detectives still trying to come up with a motive in this case? And two, Ebron told me today that he has offered to go with you guys to every single route that he took that night. Is that true? And if so, how much have you guys used him in the field to help locate evidence?
I said before he was cooperative to the point of bolstering this load is what it is. And that's what he's trying to do. He just needs to come around. His family needs to understand that what they're being told, what media's being told, it's all based on this not being there, and it's there.
Chief, you had searched the north side for a bit last week. Did you turn up any surveillance video or anything there that may lead you to believe he had been there at some point in the night?
I don't want to discuss that. So.
About the neglect charges that he's currently being held on, what are the chances of him being released or his having his bond reduced without a murder charge coming before that?
I suppose that if he's able to make bond and make that happen, we'll see. That's another piece of this. But I started having references to poker and that. Ruben and his family need to understand this is no game. Those are tongue-in-cheek explanations, but this is no game that we're playing. This is his freedom that's in question.
Have you gotten an indication that any member of his family does feel it's a game other than Ruben?
No, I don't think so. I think these are good people who have who've had some things happen, and this. I mean, like I said before, Ruben may have been a great guy before this night. I don't know.
Have you been able to close down that 2-hour window of your timeline that you didn't know where he was? That got to a smaller numbers. It's still been about 2 hours.
Things with this investigation, it's good because things are constantly evolving, and information is coming in like this. I was able to get this and verify it and make a decision to use it, and things are constantly changing. They need to know that too.
Can you release where specifically the video was taken?
No.
Can you say how much contact he may or may not have had with Lana from 8 or so when she went to Wacko's to about 2:19 when that first call was made? Text messages, phone
But I
calls.
won't. All right. Hey, again, thank you all. As things develop like this, we will continue to come forward, and your attention is still appreciated. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
As you just heard Chief Tom Hackney wrapping up his news conference here at JSO headquarters. Just to recap here for you, he's telling me that FDLE now, he's canceling that Amber Alert.